Let's look at unpaid content for a second. Sometimes accounts are pulled down, but the fake story takes the false claims of widespread voter fraud, for example, generated by these accounts have spread thousands of times, often picked up by legitimate news accounts. What do you do to flag that? What do you sense is your responsibility? And before any of you answer, let me just notice this, that if we're asking is, are we still in this situation? As of just a short time ago, and I'm talking about when this meeting started, on Twitter, if you clicked on the hashtag NYC terrorist attack, which is, quote, trending, marked with a red button saying, quote, live, the top tweet links to an InfoWars story with the headline, Imam, I warned de Blasio about New York City terror. He was too busy bashing Trump. This is a real-time example of when we talk about this information being weaponized. How quickly can you act, and what's your responsibility to set the record straight so that the people who saw this know that it's fake news, and at least at some point in time it can't keep spreading like some sort of virus through the legitimate world?
That's something we're thinking about all the time, because it's a bad user experience, and we don't want to be known as a platform for that. In your example, for instance, the system self-corrected. That shouldn't be the first tweet you see anymore. It should be a USA article. The last time I checked.
But
USA,
you saw this.
USA Today at lunch. I did. Yeah, and I also saw the system correct it.
Can you give me a really good guess on how long it was top?
We can follow up with you and your staff on that, and I don't have the stat in front of me, so I don't know. But we're, like we said earlier, trying to balance, free speech with making the information you see on the system, especially around trends that we direct you to. So if you're clicking on a hashtag, we want to make sure you're seeing verified accounts and accurate information and reporting. Sometimes it doesn't work as we intended. We learn from those mistakes and tweak and modulate going forward.
Beyond the correction, do you have a responsibility to flag something as this was fake news?
We see our users do that a lot. We're an open public platform with respected journalists and other organizations who point these things out. You may have seen that on this instance, for example.
If someone's breaking the law, you got to feel like you have a responsibility to do something about that. It's not, as you said, this is with this extraordinary gift, this platform of free expression, comes the responsibility you all talked about. So if you know something's illegal, you know you have the responsibility to do something. At what point does this become something where you can't just correct it? You've got to say to the public, this isn't true.
Right, and we take swift action on illegal content and illegal activity on the platform. A good example of this is the text-to-vote, voter suppression tweets that we've turned over to this committee. We saw swift action of the Twitter community on disputing those claims, and Twitter actively tweeted once it discovered these things were on the platform to notify our users that this was fake information, that you could not in fact vote by tweet, and pointing people to a tool that would allow them to find their nearest polling place.
Is this distinguished because that was illegal activity, or is this, if something's just fake, do you think you have an equal responsibility?
We took that down because it was illegal voter suppression. We're actively working on how do we balance what is real and fake, and what do we do in the aftermath of something being tweeted and retweeted, like you said, and have people having seen it, and how do we make sure that they're seeing other viewpoints and other facts and other news stories?
Do you have a policy right now where if you know something's out there that's it's not true of saying so?
We do not. We have a policy that fosters the debate on the platform. We have a policy that takes down a lot of that content because it comes from automated malicious accounts or spammers. That stuff we're removing and acting on as quickly as we can.
And I understand how you're trying to distinguish that, but the fact is if something's fake, it doesn't matter if it's from a fake account or some bot or something. If it's just not true and it's wildly obvious, before it goes viral and gets picked up legitimate, You must feel like you have some responsibility.
We are deeply concerned about that and figuring out ways we can do it with the right balance.
Thank you.